Arnulf Wahlström, you've been president of the EPF for many years now. How has the sport of powerlifting grown during the time you've been president, and do you think it's now more popular than it's ever been?
Yeah, my first World Championships was back in 1981 in Calcutta in India, and every year after that at the European and the World Open Championships I have taken part. And in 1990 I was elected the president of the Powerlifting Federation, but the federation itself was founded back in 1977. And it was founded by 4 nations only, and it has grown now in 39 years and to 35 European nations.
Wow.
So it has been a great change in the sport. I see it on the equipment, on the quality of the competitions, and of course the quality of the people, the lifters.
So what were the original 4 nations that started then?
Yeah, that was Great Britain, Finland, Norway and Sweden.
Wow, and it's certainly grown a lot since
Yeah,
then.
it's grown a lot.
Now, one of the developments in the sport that we've seen in recent years is the move towards classic powerlifting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that and the impact it's having on the sport?
Yeah, that's correct. Classic lifting means lifting without supportive equipment. So this supportive equipment, they came into the sport in 1980s, and it has been every year more and more supportive, and especially this bench shirt is very supportive. And to take on this equipment, it needs some manpower. The lifter needs a coach, they need help to put it on. So it's a rather cumbersome maybe for recruiting people into the sport with this heavy equipment. So we started the last year the European Classic Championships, and Classic means with no supportive equipment, and that was a big success. 300 lifters for the open and the junior sub-juniors, and we also now see big or new people coming into the sport, especially female lifters. And in many nations now they have as many female lifters as male lifters. And that is something new. And we like to develop this further. We like next year it is a bench press, also classic, for all categories, masters, open, juniors. And in 2018 we will also have a classic powerlifting championship for masters. So from 2018 we have 2 different championships. We have classic, we have equipped, and I see a great future. Now we have a better base for recruiting people. They can select classic or equipped.
Do you think the top lifters will still lift equipped, or will a lot of them move to classic, and will equipped drop as classic improves in popularity?
I think many also classic lifter will try equipped. When they have practicing some years, they maybe like to take more weights. So I think it's a room for both categories.
So the 2 forms can peacefully coexist for the foreseeable future?
I think
yes.
so, I think so.
One other issue that a lot of members are interested in is the fight of the IPF and EPF against doping abuse. How is the situation today? Do we have many positives in our sport? And how do you see the future in that respect? Yeah,
that's an important thing. Both the International Powerlifting Federation and the European Powerlifting Federation, they have highest priority this fight against the doping abuse. And I'm also wondering that sport pretend to be good for the health, but to put artificial substances into your body is far from healthy. You may gain some power, but in the long term you get side effects and that harms your body. So I think it's important to have education about this. You can have both education, but you must also have some punishment. And I see now the Olympic Committee and the WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, they have instituted a requirement to all member nations taking part in the Olympics that they must have an independent anti-doping agency in the country. working against doping and for education. And this situation also good for powerlifting. They benefit from this. So the situation is slowly better in every country. And in some countries, a big improvement, I will say. And I think of you must have education, but you must have some punishment. And I will also recommend the member federation to institute a contract with their lifters, an anti-doping contract. Many nations do that. They sign a contract. If you break the contract, it has consequences about economy. You lose your records, and you should be suspended from taking part at international competitions for life.
For life?
Yeah, for life.
So obviously within WADA it's a 4-year suspension, but you effectively want to go further than that?
Yeah, many nations have it, yeah, you are suspended for 4 years, but to take part in an international team, yes, it requires a
selection.
A selection, and you should not be allowed to take part. And it's important now that the federations see this. The coaches is also important, and the lifters. Fair play in sport is what it counts about.
I think fair play in sport is absolutely paramount, particularly in a sport like powerlifting.
But I will also say that if we cannot reduce the amount of positive doping tests, we will never be Olympic sport. And as you know, the EPF has now applied for Olympic recognition. So I will ask all our member federations to help us to reduce the number of doping abuses. And the greatest benefit is for the member federations.
Yes.
If they get accepted as Olympic sport, they get economic support from the government, yes, and that's important for our sport. So I say to the federation, please help us.
Can we move on to another question, Arnulf? You said that powerlifting has developed greatly since the EPF was founded in 1977. How can we continue this momentum and make powerlifting even better than it is now? Do you have any plans in mind to bring the sport even further forward?
Yeah, definitely. We are always working in the executive board in the European Federation to improve the sport. We have projects, we have things going on. And now for the General Assembly in May, we have made up a strategic plan for 2016 to 2019, including several projects, items we like to go ahead with. And I could remember a few of them. We have established a marketing committee now to help the executive to carry out these projects. And this is a committee consisting of professional people and voluntary people. Some of the projects now, the most important we have started with is these internet platforms. We have the web page, Facebook, Twitter. So we will rebuild the web, make it more streamlined, and cooperate with the Facebook and Twitter in a good way.
Okay.
So this internet platforms is our view to information, and it's very important for us to make them better.
Wonderful.
And we have also more projects in connection with this. We have a media committee. We will big it builder with more people, because we need people to post information at these platforms, the webs, Facebook, Twitters. So we really like volunteers, maybe journalists, to help us with this. We are establishing a media committee, so anybody is welcome to approach us to help us with this. I think this is very important for us. And we have also more projects, are this classic lifting. That has turned out to be very popular, because when we had this European Open last year, we had 31,800 viewers for this streaming, during the streaming, and the videos the day after. So this is spreading worldwide. Actually 115 These viewers came from 115 different nations. So this high quality streaming, we are doing it now for 2 yearly championships, the European Open and the Juniors. We also want to carry on with the classic, to cover the classic. So if we get money into the sport, we will continue to have more streaming.
And of course EPF have effectively set the standard for streaming, because the Junior Championships last year in Hungary was the first one to go fully professional with a TV company and everything else.
Yeah.
That's had a very positive impact and brought more sponsorship into the sport, I believe.
Yeah, we hope. For the moment we have not so much sponsorship, unfortunately. But we are working on this. This is also one of the projects, to create a committee that can work with the sponsorship, because we have something to offer. This high quality streaming, we can have advertisement there for them, and we believe that it's a lot of companies related to power that can benefit from being a company with our sport. So we need professional people to build up this sponsorship for us.
Arnulf, a couple of days before the interview, when I was commentating, I said to people listening on the web that we were conducting this interview, and we asked them to come forward with questions that they would like me to ask you. I think people were inspired by seeing the Special Olympic athletes, and one of the questions that came through most commonly was, what plans do you have to integrate both disabled and Special Olympics needs into the sport of powerlifting going forward?
Physically disabled people, they take part in our sport for many years. And we have also created special rules so they can take part. But as you know, powerlifting have 3 disciplines, and you really need a good physique all over to take part. But we see it in the bench press with this functionality in the legs. Many people can take part.
Yes.
So there we have a lot of people taking part then. And we have also this Special Olympics. Last year we had a contract with the Special Olympic Europe, Eurasia, for cooperation and integration of these people in our sport. And at the European Championships in Malaga in Spain, we had a group of Special Olympics taking part.
The weights they were lifting, for example, weren't nominal weights. Several of them were lifting over 200 kilos in the deadlift,
impressive,
which is a very respective weight in any category, whether it's disability or Special Olympics or able-bodied athletes.
Yeah, no, we like our member federation to adapt this Special Olympics in the sport at the national level. So I will say, please integrate these Special Olympics at your national level.
And I know from speaking to Ralph Farquharson, the Secretary General, that he's keen to get a coordinator for the Special Olympics for Europe in order to take the sport forward within our own region.
Yeah, definitely. So we will cooperate with any nation that work with this Special Olympic, and we move forward with it.
Arnulf, thank you very much for this interview. It's interesting to know your plans for the EPF.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to inform of some of the plans we have. And also thank you to the streaming crew, Viva TV, that make this wonderful streaming for us. And I will say, regarding this streaming, at the end of every competition, Viva TV make a summary of the highlights for 50 minutes, and that's packaged. We can send directly to any television to be broadcasted. But in any case, I think the future is maybe the streaming, because streaming can be loaded down at phones, at pads, at PCs all over. So streaming is very important in the future, but we of course hope also to be in the television.
And of course, once it's streamed, it also goes on YouTube and it's there forever. And people that aren't able to watch it live, they can go. They can go onto their computers anytime and catch up and with the action.
Exactly, they can watch it at any time. So it's more flexible than television.
Arnulf Wahlström, thank you very much for the interview. It's really good to know the plans that the EPF have to take the sport forward, and I wish you every success in doing so. Thank you.
Thank you very much.